everyone, and welcome to our season premiere edition of Longhorn Sports Line with head coach Mack Brown, presented by Great Southern Wood. My name is Craig Way. Glad to have you with us. And boy, we'll just clear that right out of the way and get the season off to a good start.
You've been doing a few high school games lately, Craig. I think, and it is Austin in August, so there is some allergies around.
You and I figured out a long time ago we hit the allergy. Cedar smacked us right about the same year and the same time.
There's no doubt.
But we are excited about the advent of a brand new football season. I know you're excited. There's a lot that is new about your program and your team, but there is always that extra excitement about the newness of a season.
It is. You take every season has its own identity, and it's fun, and it's new, and it's fresh. This one's probably different than any since we've been here, Craig, and maybe including 98, because some of our coaches stayed. Very young group coming back, but we've got a lot of got a new strength coach to work with, Jeff Madden. We've got 5 other new coaches that are bringing an influx of new ideas and new energy, and it's been fun for me. It's rejuvenated me and our coaches. It had to work for Major Applewhite and Brian Harsin to work together, and that's a difficult thing. 2 of the brightest young coordinators in the country, and they had to get on the same page for Texas. They've done that. It's been fun to watch them work. It had to work for Dwayne Aquina, who's going into his 11th year, to work with Manny Diaz. Dwayne's much older, been here. Manny's brand new, coming in from Mississippi State. That's worked. It's been very smooth as a transition. It had to work for a 35-year-old strength coach to come in and work with Jeff Madden, who's the president of the Strength Coaches Association across America. And that's worked because Jeff has been Benny's mentor. So it has to work for the offensive line coach to fit in with the other guys. And you've got Darryl White, who came in with new ideas. We talked about Brian Harsin. Major Applewhite and Bruce Chambers stayed, but then you bring in Stacey Searles from Georgia, and it has to mix with the thoughts that the other guys have. That's been a smooth transition, and then you also bring in Bo Davis from Alabama, and we saw how good their defensive line was 2 years ago, and Bo's done amazing things with our defensive linemen in a short period of time. So we feel like that the transitions are in place. We've really enjoyed watching them reach out to the players. The players have bought in as much as ever before. I like what I see. Now we'll have to put it on display Saturday night and see if we're all coming together to move forward.
We'd like to welcome those of you who are also viewing this on the Longhorn Network. Glad to have our new media partner on board as well. As we have done with Coach Brown's radio show in past years, we've got email questions from you, the fans. We'll get to those coming up and more. First, we'll pause for this as we take a break here on the IMG Longhorn Radio Network.
And remember, as Aaron's spokesperson, you are the face of Aaron's, the leader in sales and lease ownership. The stores where everyone is pre-approved.
Got it, Ken.
What? I thought I was Aaron's spokesperson.
Yeah, right.
Watch and learn, Rudy.
That's my girl.
Action. And remember, when you want a guaranteed low price on name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers,
you don't need credit. All you need is Aaron's. Don't worry, Daddy. One day you'll be the Aaron's spokesperson.
We're going to work.
One more.
No holes for the rats to crawl in now.
Lift.
Everybody's working.
Chest up, work your hip.
We got enough football players in here to win every game.
Drive.
You can either be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. We need solutions.
There we go.
And that's why you become a great football team.
That's how you do it, Luciano.
Texas All Access, Wednesdays at 8 on the Longhorn Network.
And what you're here to do is grow up.
To build something great, you need to start with hard work and a solid foundation. Then, brick by brick, progress takes hold. With a new team, a new season, and a new network to call home. These Longhorns have something to prove. Be there when they take the field for the first time. Rice, Texas, Saturday at 7, only on the Longhorn Network.
I mean, just heading into a season now, it's kind of like you get to write the story all over again. You know, it's no longer about last year's team, you know, the championship team from 2 years ago. It's now about this team. And now, you know, you get to write your own story. When you have the pen, you have the paper, now it's how you want to write it. So it's up to you. And so it's up to this team to make sure we put on tape something we're proud of and make sure we write a story we're happy with.
And certainly one of the senior leaders of this Longhorn football team, senior linebacker Emmanuel Acho. We welcome you back to Longhorn Sportsline with head coach Mack Brown, presented by Great Southern Wood. He's one of those guys that you and Coach Diaz and really the whole team is going to be counting on this.
Without a doubt, Craig. The Achos have been a really special family for us. You take what Sam did last year, and now he's with the Arizona Cardinals. He was a tremendous leader, won all the awards you could have, and really got us back on track. We felt like it midseason, even though we didn't win all the games, we sure tried harder and felt like we played hard at the end of the season. And now you've got Emmanuel Acho, and it's a little screwed up because we got Manny Diaz, and his nickname's Manny. So when I say Manny, the whole linebacker corps and the coach looks at me. So I have to either say Coach Diaz or Emmanuel. So we have to be proper in that area. But Emmanuel is taking up where Sam left off, and he and Keenan Robinson have been great leaders in that linebacker corps. Really proud of both of them. We're going to have to do a better job stopping the run. We've got to do a better job running the ball, and those two guys are key figures in our ability to stop the run.
One of the things that those guys have talked about is in Coach Diaz's scheme, they really enjoy the flexibility, the mobility that they are going to be required to have to be able to be successful in that, whether it's Keenan Robinson or Manny Acho dropping back in pass coverage or coming off the edge. There's a flexibility there that I guess they're really going to be needing to provide.
There's no doubt, and it puts it really showcases their skill set because they have to drop, they have to blitz, they have to move around in disguise, and it's really a fun defense. It's very similar to what you see with Rex Ryan and the New York Jets. That's kind of where Manny started with Mickey Andrews when he was with Bobby Bowden back at Florida State in the good old days, and he's progressed through this system up to the New York Jets, and he visits with them every year. I think it's something, I know it's something our players have enjoyed. I've enjoyed watching them put it in, and I think our fans will really enjoy it on Saturday. They're all over the place now. It's been hard for our offense to even prepare because of the movement and blitz and disguises and different looks of our defense.
At your news conference on Monday, I asked you about Calvin Howell and the progress he's made, and asked Manny Diaz about, because that was one of the quote-unquote question marks going into the who steps into that other defensive tackle spot. And you said it's going to be a variety of guys, but Calvin Howell's had a great camp.
Calvin Howell's had a great camp. He's 285 pounds. He's probably 6'4" or 5. He can run. Last year, he stayed injured most of the year. It was nothing that would keep him from playing in the future, but didn't get to play week to week. Bo Davis has done a tremendous job with him. He's grown up a lot, and we expect to see a great game out of him Saturday night.
Well, and then, of course, Keaston Randall's been one of those leaders for you, and I guess it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say he's the anchor of your defensive front.
It is. You talk about the front seven and what they've got to start doing this season. You've got Keaston Randall, then you add Calvin Howell to it. We've had the two good ends, and Alex Okafor. You lose Sam Acho, but Jackson Jeffcoat was playing really well last year till he sprained his ankle. We expect him to have a great year. We've got some young guys now stepping in behind them with Dravante Johnson, Reggie Wilson, and Cedric Reed. And then you add Jordan Hicks and the possibility of some DeMarco Cobbs at linebacker. We should have a really strong front seven. And now that Alex is back at his home place, we hope he becomes a dominant player at end, where he had to fill in and be unselfish as a tackle last year on our defensive front, and that really wasn't his position at 265 pounds.
I'm glad you brought that up, because he has said all along, he said, look, I went to wherever they wanted me to go, and I'm willing to help the team whatever I can do, but everybody seems happy with him back on the edge.
Yes, I think mostly him, probably his mom and dad too. But
right.
But it's probably helped him on the edge that he played inside, because it's much tougher in there. It's much more difficult. You have to look at different blocking schemes. So he probably feels like being on air outside is much easier than moving inside. For us to get what we want Saturday night, we've got to stop the run, and you have to get great pass rush out of our defensive ends. So fans need to watch Alex Okafor and Jackson Jeffcoat very closely, and they need to be getting pressure on the passer.
Let's talk about your secondary, and you do have some veterans back there in Blake Gideon and Kenny Vaccaro, but you got some young guys too who are certainly going to get tested.
We do. You take the older safeties. You mentioned Blake, you mentioned Kenny. They're both playing at a very high level. Christian Scott had a setback. He'll miss the first 3 ball games. Christian's only one class away from graduating, and he's got the NFL ahead of him. So when you start making decisions about a young man's future, you have to look at everything. And boy, you want him to graduate. You want him to have a chance, and you want him to learn from the mistake that he made. But he's an older safety that'll come back for the conference and be back for the open date practice sessions. And then you've got Nolan Brewster, who's been around a long time. So you're really solid with experience and good players and tough guys at the safety position.
Yeah, and then you know, when we talk about the corners, you said it's a nice problem when you have the youth, but you have so many talented guys. You've got a lot of interchangeable guys that you plan to use on that corner.
We do. You take a guy like Adrian Phillips, and he can play nickel. He can play safety. He was starting at corner, and he'll have a chance to be back in that rotation on Saturday because, again, he's very unselfish, and he has the ability to do all. And then you take Carrington Bynum, who stepped in and played as a starter last year when Shockey Brown got hurt. And you start looking at Quandre Diggs as a young freshman that we think has a great upside. And then there's some other really good players in that rotation, but those three will probably be the first three to walk out there this weekend. And the only position we have on defense with lack of experience is corner, but they are talented. They are physical. They will hit you. So I'm sure Rice will test them Saturday night, and that'll be another thing that we all get to watch unfold.
This goes deeper than just your cornerbacks or even really at any position on the field. But in your years of coaching, your experience of coaching, doesn't it always come down to no matter how good a fall camp a freshman might have, you don't really know for sure until they get under the lights for the first time. And in this case, the lights burn pretty brightly as well as the sun at this time of year.
Yes, when you start a season, you're never sure how your team's going to play because unlike the NFL, we don't have a preseason game. We have 3 scrimmages. You have 2 of them that are really physical scrimmages, but you're really looking at personnel. There's no game plans. Your last one is more of a situation scrimmage, and sometimes it's not even tackle, it's thud. So going into the first game scares coaches to death. You see upsets happen in that game, and they're usually because of turnovers or kicking game mistakes or freshmen who are under the lights for the first time. It's unique for us. We'll have more freshmen and sophomores starting on this team than ever before. In our 14 years here at the university, I still expect them to step up and shine under the lights in front of 101,000 and a national audience with the Longhorn Network on Saturday against Rice.
Last week, that you and Sally had a great moment in being involved with the Rice School of Austin, and they presented you with a jersey with number 60 on it because you did turn 60 years of age last week, and you said it's the closest to Tommy Nobis I'll ever get. But do you feel even at age 60, even with all the years that you've been coaching, you're still learning?
I'm still learning. If you're not learning, you're not alive, and I think that's it. And the other thing you look at is that it's not about your age; it's about how you feel about your age. And it's I feel younger than ever. Sally said 60 is the new 40. Well, I probably didn't feel this good at 40. I don't remember 40 as we look back on it. But
your knees feel better now than they did at 40.
Knees feel better. I'm in better shape. I'm actually out walking and exercising. These young guys around me have got me stirred up and moving forward, and they'll keep you on your feet. The fans will like seeing what they're doing because they're exciting and full of energy on Saturday, or they will be. I've seen it now for 6 or 8 months, and it's been fun for me. It's been a way to recharge my batteries and start over, and I don't know how good we're going to be Saturday night. I do know that the things are in place and the players are in place for the future for us to get back and be what we expect at the University of Texas. So since Thanksgiving, I'm really excited about the things that have happened and what we've put in place and the way we're moving forward. I feel the excitement from the players and the recruits as well. And I can't wait for Saturday night just to see it unfold.
We need to take a break. I want to remind you that our broadcast is brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. Personal, dependable, affordable. It all starts with being local. Experience wellness everywhere. Longhorn Sports Line with head coach Mack Brown, presented by Great Southern Wood, will continue after this on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.
Saving for our child's college fund was getting expensive.